Hello and welcome back to the Dolecast, our first episode of the new year. Wow. Back after our little season break. We've all had a good Christmas. We're all well rested. And my guest this week is Downtown's own Declan Wilson.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, how have you been?
I've been good, yeah, good. Nice to be on. Thank you for having me on.
Here, nice to have you on. Nice to have you on.
Cozy. Look at you, branded pillows
Mate,
and everything.
Got these. Santa brought these, and I was like, oh, you know what? We're moving up in the world with branded mugs, branded pillows, branded TV screen. We just talked about.
I'm taking notes for my own sort of podcast.
And it'll burn into the TV. The one thing I wanted to start with, because I decided every guest now I'm going to do this. I'm going to ask them the same question, which is, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
What did I have for breakfast this morning? Jeepers. Do you know what I did? I went to the Spar, other brands available, radio training, around the corner, and got myself bacon and sausages.
Okay.
And then I had a bowl of Rice Krispies after. I had a brisert. I do brisserts.
Brisert?
It's like a breakfast dessert.
Okay, so, and then is the Rice Krispies then the sweet aspect of that then, I suppose?
Yeah, but I cover them in sugar.
Right, okay.
The old-fashioned way. Just absolutely pour a bag of McKinney's sugar all over the cereal. You're just eating spoonfuls of sugar.
Yes, 1 year 5 a day. I can't really do cereal and that, like, see, as soon as it goes soggy, I'm done for the day. Don't worry about it.
I don't mind a soggy
it's
cereal.
Thrown out.
I like it. See weetabix when it goes all.
Oh, I can maybe do it.
Soggy.
No,
Love it.
I put a fair whack of sugar over Weetabix.
Oh, aye.
That's like tasty.
Has to be done.
Yeah. Before this, I had eggs and a wee bit of cheese in there.
Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
a wee bit of gourmet.
He gets a big issue delivered. That's
yeah, for real.
Eggs and cheese.
And a wee bit of red sauce just to touch it all off. And I was running up going, oh, flip, I have a podcast about half an hour here. What do you have?
Ham and cheese toasty.
Ham and cheese toasty. Hey,
he's went for a lunch at breakfast time.
That's a real brunch vibe there.
That's a pure worker over there.
I had spaghetti at 12 o'clock.
Woke up, got the bolognese on.
Yeah, I was like, because I was going late for work, and I was like, I've nothing else to eat here. It'll be the 3-minute microwave spaghetti, won't it?
I love it. See, whenever I done breakfast radio, I could add a kebab at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh my.
It's one of the few. Now, weirdly, I wouldn't eat like a fry at night. That wouldn't be my thing. But
some people do fries for dinner.
Yes, but I could do like dinner food for breakfast, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know, well, what are your thoughts on a cold pizza?
Oh, go for it. Yeah, next day it's far better.
Love it.
Love a cold pizza.
Yeah. I don't even microwave it. Just
just go in.
Cheese is all solidified and stuff. Oh,
go in cold.
Love that.
Love it.
Listen, we're gonna dive straight into it. You mentioned it briefly already there. When you said you could eat a kebab for breakfast.
Why?
You are on the radio. Big man on the radio.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a radio. Try and say this without swearing. Yeah. To be professional.
If you need to.
And a broadcaster.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a radio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at the minute I'm freelance. I went freelance. I left Q back in October 2023.
Okay.
And just had a baby at the time. Loads of different things. So I decided to go freelance for a wee while. I'm still freelance, so sort of fits that I'm on the Dole podcast.
keeping it 90. Yeah.
So I'm jumping between Downtown Radio at the minute and BBC NI. So it's good.
Okay,
doing loads of different things and
because
loads of different shows, loads of different times. It's good as well. I really enjoy it.
I'd messaged you probably a year ago because I'm keen to myself to get into radio and doing a degree at the minute, which sort of will help with that. And I was just kind of wondering, like, where did you get your start? Like, where did you
in radio?
Yeah,
radio was something. It's so weird. 'Cause it's something I always wanted to do, but never had the courage to go and do it. I've done so many jobs that I hated. Like we could all relate to that. Like doing so many jobs that you hate.
We've worked in the same place. Twice,
have you?
We're still doing it. We're still doing it. First one was Centre, other brands available, and
good man, he's doing well. This radio journey so far.
Come on, don't worry
It's
about
an audition. The whole
Don't worry about it. I'm taping this, send it straight to the BBC after. I'm gonna give you the hard drive and be like, here, next time you're heading into work.
Have a listen to this.
We caused some mayhem in that place. Like, just.
Do you know what it was? You were getting paid $4.55 an hour, and you just went, "Why should I care?"
Minimum wage, minimum effort. Like
mad.
that's the way to do it.
But people don't see the work that the people actually put in those like retail. Because I've done it myself. Like retail, great. I hate retail. Like I'm just gonna be honest. I would never fair play if you do retail. Fair play to you. But see retail, I couldn't do it.
We've done our stint, and like I think where we work now is different in that like it's not like people just coming in, on the way home from work. They're like, oh, can I get a milk or an eggs or whatever? people are just in foul form, and then like you notice patterns, and like it is grim.
Sorry, people also just tell you like their relative have just died, and you have to just be like,
sorry, man,
that's class. That's $4.59. Can I do you cash your card?
Here's your change. All the best. Take care. Sorry for your loss.
We've all done our.
Do you want to buy a MasterCard? Sorry.
Yeah.
So grim. Sorry.
There's some cards over there if you want.
2 for 1.
But we've all done our stint in retail. But I take it you worked. Obviously, you worked a bunch of jobs before you moved to.
Before I went to radio, when you hear this for a back catalogue of experience, I started. My first job ever was Martin Spencer.
Okay, yeah.
They do Martin Peg.
Yeah.
And all those things. So I worked in there for a while.
Great,
Wasn't I wouldn't say I was employee of the month. I did mad things like played rugby with the baguettes and all, and like just had a laugh. And
what's he like?
There
he goes again.
That didn't last. I was
throwing a bread,
throwing a bread roll across the food court. So that didn't last, and then I decided, right, okay, I'll try sales, and I did. Do you ever do telemarketing, like call center, like sales?
Okay, yeah.
That was soul destroying. Yeah. Again, sorry if you work in a call. I'm just slating everybody's job here.
Yeah.
But I worked in a call centre, and it was like, I remember the campaign I was on, you were ringing people who were pay as you go.
Right.
And you were trying to convert them the contract. So here's a scenario for you. I was ringing grannies at like 90, and they were like, I only ever ring my son every year, very rarely. I don't know why they're from England, but very rarely, a top up £5, that does me the year. And I'm like, how about the iPhone 14 Pro Max in HD with Blu-ray and all this stuff here? And they're like, no. And I was like, that's fair enough. So I ended up saying to wee grannies on the phone, you do not need this. Stay what you're doing. That didn't go down well in the
Truffle, he's a hero. Yeah.
And they were like, you're not selling. I was like, cause I'm not grim.
Yeah.
So left that job. Was gonna go into management and all in there, and I just thought, couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Went into education.
Oh really?
Was gonna try and become a teacher.
Yeah.
I did the wise thing of trying to be a classroom assistant first. Don't get me wrong, I loved that. It was rewarding. You were working with kids and you were seeing them come up and grow up and go through their lives and all that, picking their choices. But there's some kids I hate. Like,
but some of them, yeah.
See, some of them, they could be listening to this now. I'm telling you.
And that sort of just turned you off the whole education.
I was one of the kids, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because like a scenario, you're in a classroom, you know what it's like, and I worked in an all boys school.
Right. Okay.
And like one of them farted, and I just burst out laughing. Teachers trying to be all serious, like, that's not funny, sir. And I'm like, it is. It just is.
It just
like,
is.
It's hilarious.
It's
brilliant.
It
stinks. It's class. Whole classrooms. They're sick. It's brilliant. So it didn't last in there. And then I was on a ski trip. I love skiing, but I was on a ski trip, and my now wife was my girlfriend at the time. And I remember I was doing another job I was coming home to. It was sales as well, I think. I was doing that. I was like, I don't want to go back to work. You know when you have the fear and you're like, I have to go back to work on Monday.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to work. And she actually said to me, quit. And I went, what? And she went, just quit.
Yeah.
I was like, right, but what am I going to do for money? And she was like, I look after is quit your job. What have you always wanted to do? What do you want to do? I want to be on the radio. And she was like, right, do it. I was like, yeah, but you just can't walk into a paid radio job. You know what I mean? So she went, just quit. Do what you need to do. Volunteer. Go into Queen's. I actually started here on Queen's Radio. Well,
I remember.
And I remember
Queen's Radio,
I reached out to the station manager at the time, who's a guy called Scott Duffield, who now works for BBC Scotland. Shout out Scott. I messaged him as like a 26-year-old man or something, being like, look, I want to do this, and it was all students. I thought, it's going to be all students, and I'm not going to fit in. But yeah, got in there, ploughed away, sent a few demos out, and then luckily enough, Q picked up a demo. And yeah, get in the door, and the rest is history. Like,
what were you doing on Queen's? What was your show, or were you just like general like?
Oh, I did it. It was such a cheesy show. I'd like 2 hours on a Saturday, and I called it Super Saturday.
Yeah,
and I made my own jingles, and it was like, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Super Saturday with Declan Wilson, and it was the cheesiest thing ever.
No, it's a baguette flying through the aisles of Marks and Spencer's.
Sponsored by Marksies.
Declan's taking conversions with a pan of chocolate again. No, that's class. So like I've do a show on Queen's Radio at the minute called What's Happening. Where basically like, listeners send in their, we'll set a theme out, and then they'll send in their stories of like whether it's childhood stories or school stories or whatever it is. The responses vary. But we do that at the minute.
It's class, but
so like
it's a great way to start if you're serious about getting into radio. Yeah, it's so good. And if anyone watching or listening wants to get into radio, that's the way to do it. You just got to go graft, put the work in, understand it, realize what you need to do and what you don't need to do in radio, and then just you learn all that through the likes of student radio or community radio and stuff like that. So
because even like so ours. So was yours live on Queen's? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because back in the day, it was more so like they've moved into a different sort of studio room now. Where was the
one? It was the OG Students' Union, the old one.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And it was this wee room that had a key, like a key to get into it, but the key ring was like a plank of wood.
Right. Okay.
I always remember getting in, but I love that. Like you're given, like people would think you're giving up 3 hours of your Saturday realistically when you're prepping and getting beforehand to go in and do a show for free. And they were like, "But you're not getting paid." And I was like, "Yeah, but look in the long run what it's going to do."
Lovely game, like
and I loved it. I really genuinely enjoyed it. And you were sort of given the freedom to do your own show, and I loved that too. So
yours was live then?
It was live every Saturday.
Ours at the minute it's pre-recorded, but then it goes out as if it's it's live.
Of course, but a lot of stations are doing that now. I thought over lockdown, a lot of places went sort of pre-recorded and all. But
but like that's a student radio station, and I've had my own issues and things of like, oh, what do I do here, or how does this work, or in terms of, I'm sure you've probably some stories about this when when you're doing a live show. Have you ever had a situation where something's gone out or something's been said and you're like, oh no?
Yeah. I remember I dropped an F-bomb at like, not me personally, but I played a clip of, the clip was we were milking cows, right?
Was this on Q?
This was on Q. And this isn't why I'm gone, by the way. FYI, it was my decision. But I was playing this clip and then we were like touching the udders. And we were like giving it stacks with the others, and you can imagine, like, And one of the fellas, Andrew Ryan, the comedian who was doing the show with me, touched the udder, but went and then dropped it, and I was like, and I played out the clip. 8:10 in the morning, max peak
middle
audience,
of school run,
and I just thought, you know what? I went on after and I went, apologies, my fault. I hold my hands up, genuine. I'm so sorry. You don't need to complain. I'm going to apologise now. These things happen. Just shows it's not pre-recorded, it's fully live. You can make a mistake. And then the boss was like,
because I think I messaged you about this before as well. I'm on the Q crew. I do the events and stuff for Q.
So are you there now at the minute?
Yes, I'm there now.
Okay, cool.
And it's like you're in Q, and like even outside it, like with the Cafe Nero stuff, it's all played out on the speakers.
Yes.
So I can imagine everybody else in the building being like, as soon as that happens, they're like,
I remember, it's funny you say that about Cafe Nero. I remember doing a stint on the radio one day, and I sent someone down outside Nero below, and I said, let me know like who's sitting there, and I'll do this thing on the radio. It'll be funny. I'll just say, hey, you in the red coat with your maca and all, and then they were like, that's all right, outside Cafe Nero. So I did that to wind them up.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
But everybody else in Northern Ireland was like, what's he doing?
What's this guy talking about?
It's just relevant to the Cafe Nero area of Belfast City Centre.
Because or like, has there been a time as well where like, maybe a guest hasn't turned up on the day, or like a link's not ready or whatever, and you really gotta just think on your feet really
right?
quick.
Over lockdown, we were doing loads of interviews with like celebrities over Zoom, and there's actually 2 cracking stories. Brian Adams hates me, but
right, okay,
we'll get to that. But the first one was, I was told Will Young's got a new song coming out. Remember Will Young?
Okay, yeah.
He won like Pop Idol back in 2001 or something.
Yeah. Okay.
But he had a new song coming out, and his PR company were on. They were like, will you interview him over Zoom? And I was like, yeah, no sweat. And I was like, right, okay. And it was a brilliant interview, if I do say so and stuff. It was very good. And I noticed at the end I didn't hit record on Zoom. I know.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
There was like proper Will Young fans buzzing for this and all. So the next morning I came in and the boss was like, Will Young interview all ready to go? And I was like, yeah. So
nightmare.
I had this genius idea with Yaz, who was producing the show at the time. We decided that we'll do the interview that actually never happened. So we went on and got loads of clips of Will Young just going, yep, no, maybe. Well, thank you very much for having me. So I did this whole mad interview with Will Young of just him going, yep, no. And then people were texting and going, he's very rude.
Oh my goodness.
But I held my hands up at the end of the interview. I went, look, here's the crack. We actually did do an interview with Will Young. I didn't hit record, and so we'll have to do this.
Another one
people
from the
loved
boss.
But
was he okay with it?
I thought that. But when I explained to him, I went, look, trust, you've got to think on your feet when these things happen, because, again, you're only human.
Yeah,
and
of course.
His PR firm loved it.
Yeah.
They were like, oh my God, that was brilliant. Like the fact that you were still able to do something and plug the album and the whatever.
Do you think Will saw it or heard about it and was like...
Will would have been raging. Like,
so
it was like, really good. Yeah. I even sang Evergreen to him and all. And I was like, this is class. And then just, it ended up him going, yeah, no.
Cheers. Thanks very much. Thank you. Cheers.
Mad. But
And Brian Adams hated you?
Brian Adams, that was a disaster from start to finish because, again, Zoom. I just don't think this isn't on Zoom because there would have been a mess somewhere on my end.
I probably forgot that record, to be fair. Yeah.
Are we rolling?
The whole thing would have just been me going, so you start on radio, you'd be like, yep.
I'm really selling myself here to any potential stations that want to hire me, like, haven't they? But, Will Young, I was interviewing, name drop again, Natalie Imbruglia the day before. So it said on the guest Zoom screen, Natalie Imbruglia.
Yeah.
So he came on, and I was like, oh, well, there's actually a story before that. But he came on anyway, and he was like, why am I Natalie? And I was like, sorry, mate. Was
Yeah.
You know me, pure Belfast. Like, sorry, mate. I'll fix that now.
Take what you're given.
But, yeah. Beforehand, we were talking about nicknames on the show that day too. So I was asking everybody, what's Brian Adams' nickname? Yeah, as the producer told me, it was the Groover from Vancouver.
Right.
So I went, that's really terrible, but okay,
Yeah.
I'll roll with it. So, and then I went into another guy and I went, is that it? And he went, no. And I was like, right, what is it? And he said, it's the Mover from Vancouver. And I was like, right. So the whole intro to the interview was me being like, here he is, the Mover from Vancouver, Brian Adams. Silence. Like he was looking at me on screen. I was like, that's your nickname, isn't it, mate?
Brian, you want to stay? Are you frozen, mate? Yeah.
Mover, aye?
Yeah.
And he was like, no. I went, all right. What is it? And he was like, why do you want to know? And I was like, oh, we're talking about nicknames, mate. What is it? And he was like, it's Badams. And I was like, that's tragic. But
so far off the mark as
then
well.
he said, I'm not even from Vancouver. I'm from Ontario. I was like, kill me.
Yeah.
Just absolutely kill me.
But how have two separate people been like, it's this? Actually, no,
Producers.
it's this. And you're like, well, it's something from Vancouver.
So
No, it's
that
not
was a
actually.
disaster. And then I started saying to him, I tried buttering him up then, licking him and being like, right,
Yeah,
here we go.
lick my screen and all.
All right, Brian. So I went, here, I won an award because of you. And he was like, oh, what was it? And I was like, School Stars in Your Eyes 2006. I sang Brian Adams, and he was like, this kid's tragic. And he went, what song did you sing? And I said, Summer of 69. And he just went, I have other songs, you know. And I was like,
Oh.
I was like, sorry, Brian.
Sorry, Brian.
So it was just a complete mess from start to finish. But again, had a bit of fun with it.
Yeah. Salvaged
grand,
it.
like.
Then it came out, it was just Brian going, yep.
Yeah, it just got
That's
clips
mad.
of his of YouTube.
Who is probably the most famous person you think you've spoken to? In terms of it?
Robbie Williams.
Oh, nice.
He was good. Ed Sheeran.
Was he a monkey?
Ed Sheeran was a legend. Like,
Really?
he was so down to earth.
And was that him as well?
That was Zoom,
Yeah.
and then in person, 𝐿𝙊𝙇𝙀𝐾𝐼𝐿 was
Really, in person?
He offered me a beer. I
Where
was
was
like,
this?
what a guy! It was the first time he played. Was it
Oh, Bell Sonic?
Sonic
yeah,
or
yeah.
it might have been Vital, something like that.
Right, okay.
But I actually got him at the end of his gig to say, "That's us now."
Really?
Yep. I said, trust me, if you say this, there's a clip of it somewhere on social, but I said to him, if you say this, the whole of Northern Ireland will go bucked off.
Yeah.
They will go nuts, they'll love it.
100%.
And right enough, he came out at the end and went, that's us now. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, the word.
So that was the content for the show the next day. I was like, right,
boom,
there we
I've
go.
done it.
There it is.
𝐿𝙊𝑇𝐾𝐼𝐿 in person's huge.
That was great. Like,
What was
it was really good.
Robbie Williams like?
Robbie was dead on. He had a toasty the whole way through the interview, and I was just like, you're the coolest.
You were just off screaming them.
You were
shaving
producing
it
him,
all
yeah.
up the background.
He just sat eating the toasty the whole way through the interview, chatting away.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
During the breakfast show.
Some producer made me this for breakfast, mate. And I was like, all right, dead on.
Is Robbie the mover from Vancouver?
But he was sound, like, really, really dead on.
Ed's crazy as well.
Ed was mind blowing, but I was trying my best, not the fanboy.
Oh, 100%.
You know, like,
yeah.
because they tell you on radio, like, they're just normal people. Chat to them
Yes.
like they're normal. But I was really going like, oh my god.
Oh, 100%.
Ed
Because
Sheeran.
even I've done stuff and you're like, listen, let's keep it chill because they're just
But,
human beings, but also like, this is a huge
Oh,
deal.
100%.
Like, it's
But I have a tendency to thrive in awkward situations as well because, again, Line of Duty, the finale of it was coming out the same day I was interviewing Ed Sheeran.
right, okay.
So Ted Hastings
Yeah.
and Line of Duty, Ed Sheeran. So my radio mind went, let's merge the
Ted
two
Hastings.
together.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it did Ted Sheeran.
Okay.
So I dressed up as like a cross dress between Ed Sheeran and Ted Hastings, like the tattoo sleeves, the grey
Yeah.
wig, the police thing
Very
and all,
good, very
but
good.
with the guitar and all. And I sang the AC-12 team instead of the A team
Nice.
live
That's good.
to Ed Sheeran.
That's good.
And yeah, I was like, what kind of idiot sits and plays a
Hey.
guitar and sings Ed Sheeran's song?
If you did that to Brian Adams, different story.
Oh, he'd kill me,
different
like-
story. Like,
double barrel shotgun straight to the head.
this is off topic. What do you think of the Line of Duty family?
I liked it.
Really?
No.
It was weird because I had only got into it really when that season was airing.
That was the last
That was
one?
the last
obviously, yeah.
season, and my parents were watching it.
I'm
and
trying
I
to
was
remember
like,
what
this is
actually
good.
happened. Oh, your man was still in
was
charge.
revealed and stuff, and
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, oh, what's this about?
I wanted more, but I wanted
But it's
more
always
juice.
it's always something because you're like, but it was filmed here, so it's really good and all.
They were filming outside the studio one day.
Really?
And like Martin Compson, because I was randomly on air, Martin Compson walks past, and I'm like, "There's Arnott."
Yeah, DCI.
Alright, Steve.
There he is. Yeah.
There he is. And so. But I was great. It was all right. I wanted a wee bit more juice, like you know.
They'll bring it back one day. You
They
know,
will,
they'll be old and all,
bring it
and
back.
you know Ted Hastings will be in a wheelchair, and I'll be like, oh, we gotta go get them. The OCGs, but yeah, that's mad. And like, never spoken to any Line of Duty guys on Q or anything like that.
Adrian Dunbar, actually,
that's a big one.
I didn't speak to him,
Yeah.
but I was. He was on the show technically,
Yeah.
but I went away on my honeymoon after I got married, and then I prayed like Yaz, because I was obsessed with him. Like I played him every day on the show. You know, like him going that's us now and different bits and bobs and
Like
sweet
Diesel.
mother of God, not like all those things. They were just like wee sound bites would have dropped in all the time. But I wanted to have him on so much, and just couldn't get hold of him because he's Adrian Dunbar.
Yeah.
But when I came back, Yaz had organised him to record a message, so I was like, "Good morning, Declan's son," and I only recorded this big thing for me. And all. I thought it was great. I loved it. It was good.
Like, has there ever been a day where like, you know, my biggest fear, especially on a live show, you know, it's different. Like you can say anything on a podcast and after just go, oh, we'll cut that out, or you know, don't worry, no one wants to see that. And there's been plenty of times people have gone, this isn't live, is it? And I went, no, thankfully not. But like, have you, you know, especially, you know, the music's playing, the mics are down, or you think they're down, or is there any sort of
Thankfully, no. I've never had a moment where the mics have still been live and I've been talking and slabbering about everybody.
Yes. or is there
never?
You know, I'm sure you can think of moments where you're like,
touch wood.
Yes, if the mics were up right now, I'd be in real trouble. You know,
that's something I really don't ever need. No.
And how much prep would go into a show before you actually go on air?
See, you can over prep sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
I think, like, see, I love the likes of this. You come into a podcast, you have a bit of chat and a bit of crack, and that's the sort of thing you want to do in radio. You want to talk to people one-on-one who's listening to you as if you're in a bar or as if you're in a restaurant or you're their mate, essentially. You know what I mean? That's the kind of approach I want to do in the show, the shows or any show would do. It's about radio, sort of about connection, and that's what I love about it. Like you can communicate with people in a way where they can't visibly see you, but they can hear you, and you're painting pictures in their mind as to what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's like theatre of the mind. I love that. Yeah. That whole thing about it's class. I think that's class.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to talk about this, but you know, if not, we'll cut it out.
Go on.
We were doing an event with you in 𝐿𝐻𝐿.
With me?
No, it was me.
Oh, I was like, jeez, what did I do?
Oh, bro. It was me, 𝘿𝙊𝙑𝙀𝐾𝐿, another girl, and it was the 𝐿𝐻𝐿 discount night.
Right.
And we had another big Q wheel they have. It's like a huge big wheel.
Hated that wheel.
And well, let me tell you. So I'm 20, I'm not 21, so I can't drive either the Q Jeeps yet because you need to be 21 to get on the insurance and stuff. So I turned up to Q and they were like, here, you sweet to drive down to 𝐿𝐻𝐿 here? And I was like, no, like you guys have told me I can't do that. And they were like, yeah, true, right, okay, that's okay, fair enough. So we went down. It's me, Jerry, and this other girl, and the line, it was in the, do you know where Santa's Grotto is every year?
I was expecting to hear like a Grand Theft Audio story here, like him jumping into a Q wagon and doing burnouts up the Mona bypass in a Q Jeep.
Oh man, what about that car park? That car park's a melt, but that's a different story altogether.
Don't even.
So we turned up to 𝐿𝐻𝐿 and we were positioned where the Santa's Grotto is during Christmas time and stuff, and the wheel was there, and you know we had the booth set up and stuff, and there was a massive line, and we met up with the people from 𝐿𝐻𝐿 running it, and they gave us these hampers and tickets. We had all these tickets and concert tickets and stuff, and we ran out of concert tickets on the wheel probably within an hour, and we were there for maybe 3 because we had like 8 pairs of tickets, and every single person was landing on concert tickets, and the cars are parked in like deep 𝐿𝐻𝐿, and I was like, I think you know they have like spare like slots for different things. We were like, we need Q merch, and it's like, here's a tote bag. There you go.
There you go. Air freshener.
Yeah. So I hit it was like something Mission Impossible. I hit the full sprint back to the Jeep because I was like, we're going to land on concert tickets and we're going to be like, sorry, we've none left. And what was worse as well, it was like, you've won concert tickets, here you go. And it was like 18 plus, and you're handed like a 9-year-old, and you're like, give that to your mum and dad. But do you want a tote bag? But got back to the Jeeps, and like, I just like Q merch, grabbed all these slots, ran back to 𝐿𝐻𝐿 and was shoving them into the wheel. And then eventually we had to just run out of concert, like we just did run out of concert tickets, and we ran out of prizes, full stop. But we still had probably another hour of the event, and like we just had to be like, anybody, like people were landing on concert tickets and be like, here's a Q Radio pen if you want that. And then the event finished, and our brief was like, get the wheel back to Q and stuff, and they were like, here, you might have to wheel it through the streets of Belfast, so just be careful. Drunks and stuff. It's Thursday night. And we were like, yeah, no bother. And then it finished, and Jerry had to go because he had a wedding the next day or something, and it was just me and this girl. And I kind of looked at, like, the wheel's huge. I kind of looked at the wheel and went, I'm not getting this back to Q. Like, it's not happening.
No, you have to wheel it. Like, it's
I was like...
And the best about it is the pool cars are Fiat 500s. Just FYI.
Yeah, so we had the two Jeeps, thankfully, and but like you obviously can't fit it in the Jeeps either, and we had so much gear. And I was kind of looking at it, and we had to, because I couldn't drive one of the Jeeps, we had to do 2 trips. So we had to go back to Q one of the Jeeps, walk back to Castle Court, get the other Jeep, and drive it back to Q as well. And by this stage, about 9:30 at night, like maybe it might have been 𝑒𝐿𝐿 is in Q, but like on the air, so like can't really do anything. I also got locked in the toilets at Q. That's a different story. Gareth Woods had to rescue me. And we couldn't get the car park open for ages, and like a whole massive ordeal. My mum had arrived to pick me up from the event, and I was like, do you mind taking us back to Castle Court so we can get one of the Jeeps and get back? And I got to the stage where I was like, firstly, we can't. I didn't know how they got the huge wheel on the second floor of Castle Court anyway.
I was waiting on him saying his man pulled up on a transit or something.
Yeah, it was like, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
So eventually it was just like, let's just cover the wheel in like a tarp and just be like, come back again the next day, lads. So we covered the wheel in a tarp and just split, and then got back. My mum was like, oh, hi, nice to meet you, this girl, and everything, dropping us back to Q. And then eventually we got back, and like I had to just text and be like, half the equipment's kind of just sitting out in the open in Castle Court. We couldn't fit any more in the Jeeps. And that was that. But like my first ever event I did with Q was away at the GAA. And like they're long days, like they are long days. Handing out, you get those you blow up like inflatable things to make all these noise, and we
clappers and all that.
Yeah, the clappers, and we were just, Connor was down on the pitch with a t-shirt cannon and fired it, but it just skied it and just landed on the roof of the stand. But we got back to Q, and it was my first event. I didn't really, obviously it's all like fobs and stuff to get through doors. And I used one of the fobs, went into the toilet. Everybody else I was with went home. I got changed in the toilet, went to leave, and the door wouldn't open. And I was like, it's me and Gareth who's on air. And I don't, he was leaving very shortly because he was coming to the end of his slot. I was going, I'm going to get locked in Q Radio overnight here. Like, I don't know, the breakfast team's going to fire me. And I had to phone the person I was with, who then had to phone Gareth, who then had to, like, play a song. Like, wait until he'd done his link, play a song, run out of the studio, get me out of the toilet. And I was like, thanks very much. He's like, I've got to go right now. Run back and then start his link again. I said, oh, mate, it was chaos.
At least you got out.
Well, yes, at least you got it. But you started your own podcast then?
I did. I started a podcast with my dad, called Me and My Dad podcast. We were sitting trying to think of names, and I was like, it's just me and my dad.
You've cracked it, like, you've cracked it. You've
like, well, there we go.
Yeah.
So,
how'd that come about?
It's just, he has so many stories. Like,
dad lore.
Like, I think I have stories, and then he starts, and I'm like, you're mad.
Yeah.
So I said this would be gold on a podcast. Like, it'd be really, really good. So we decided to do that. We actually run a ski trip together as well.
Yes, I was going to ask about that. So that's at the end of this month, isn't it?
That's the end of this month, yeah. So we're taking over 200 people out to Bulgaria.
That
having a rave, a party.
Huge responsibilities, but no, obviously
it is and it isn't.
Yeah.
Like, we're big kids.
Yeah.
So, no, it's great. It's like a big family by the end of the week. Everybody gets to know each other. You're out there.
So is that through anyone, or how's that work? Or have you just like, here, we'll just take the...
This is slightly awkward. It used to be the Q Radio ski trip.
Okay, yeah.
But the breakfast presenter left, and then it became the... big ski week with Declan Wilson.
Yeah. Decky ski week.
Sorry, lads.
Yeah.
But
Baguettes his skis and everything. What's he like?
Playing rugby with Baguettes.
Yeah.
But so we ended up just sort of doing that, and it's brilliant. Like, I love it. And the place we go to is a place we've been going to for years, like just as a family, like sort of as well. So means a lot to us, but it's amazing. You just go out, you meet people from all different walks of life, all different parts of Northern Ireland. Doesn't matter who you are, what you are. anything like that, you're just one big family. You have a laugh for a week, and it's class. It's brilliant. We're actually doing a pubcast from there this year.
Pubcast? Yeah,
so there's a bar at the top of the mountain.
Yeah. We're
going to go into, set up all the stuff, and then do a pubcast there and talk to some of the people on the trip, and also it'll be really good.
Is your dad a king skier as well?
He's brilliant. He just got a hip replacement there two years ago, so like new suspension.
Yeah.
He's like a 2024 Merc now. Like he was a wee Citroen Saxo before that. Like, but he loves skiing. He's been skiing for about 40 years. Like,
okay. And have you ever had any bad falls?
Oh, aye.
Yeah. I went skiing with school and had a bad fall and I'm thinking, broke my neck here. But like skiing humbles a person, I think.
It does.
You know,
it really does.
Really, really does. Folks, we are just taking a quick break because there's a bomb. No, I'm only joking. It's because it's the ad read and I want to tell you guys about 𝑒𝐿𝐵𝑎𝑟BBQ Here, first ad read of the new year. You love it. Guys, unfortunately, the winter deals, they're over. But there's new deals, okay? So it's not a big deal. You've got to go over to the 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝑎𝑟BBQ Instagram account because let me tell you, that's a big deal, folks. They've plenty of them on there. That was good. I hold my hands up, lads. That wasn't me that came up with that, but it's good. As well as that, you got to be following 𝐒𝐿BBQ Lad raffles. I don't wanna give anything away, but put it this way, we might have a barbecuing guest on the podcast very, very soon. And the producer's looking at me like, what? But yeah, it's coming, or should I say, he's coming. Cryptic. But yeah, guys, gotta go and get some raffle tickets because they are flying out. People have already won some unbelievable prizes, and there's a few things planned. And listen, I can't tell you much, but what I can tell you is that Great Outdoors Barbecue Co. have the best deals for all your barbecue needs, and they get on them. Thanks very much, guys, for sponsoring the podcast, and let's get back to it with Declan Wilson.
See, I'm a musician as well,
yes.
So I play a lot of instruments.
Yeah. And
I was due to go and play I'm a trad musician, like I would do Irish dance competitions and all that. And I was due to play the World Irish Dance Championships in Killarney the week after I got back from skiing.
Right, okay.
And we went skiing. This particular year it was Austria, but
that's
we were all canned early
yes.
on.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be a great idea to take on the most difficult slope.
Yes.
Tore ligaments in my entire thumb.
Serious?
Yeah, like completely destroyed my thumb. Had to play in like a thumb sling thing because I couldn't cancel. I was contracted for this event.
Yeah, 100%.
And the one thing they said to me before I went was like, don't do anything mad. And I was like, no.
Yeah. No.
And then that's not bad enough. Later that night, I've still got the scar there. I was opening a bottle, but we didn't have a bottle opener. So I thought it'd be a great idea to try like a lighter or something. And then the bottle cracked and ripped my finger open. So I was blocked getting my finger stitched back on. It was brilliant.
Come on. But man, I actually love to go here. The Declan Wilson and Dolecast big ski weekend. Here, let's make it happen. We'll bring the pillows and stuff. Bring
the pillows.
Just in the pub, it's 2 pillows.
The 2 pillows.
And then, it's like, how much responsibility do you have for organising that sort of stuff, or is it more like someone else takes care of it, and you're more like?
So no, Travel Solutions, I have to say, they're brilliant. Like, they're so good to work with. They're so good at planning, and nothing's a problem. If we come to them with an idea, they go right. Let us know what you need, and they'll help us do it. But sort of the itinerary for the week, we sort of planned it ourselves. Like, there's a big après-ski day where you go out first thing in the morning, you go to the slopes, you come back to the bar, and I DJ. Like, we'll have like a rave on the slopes to like maybe 10 o'clock that night, and then we'll go to a nightclub.
Doesn't stop.
And then
your dad's busting shapes at 2 a.m.
So it's mad.
Going out. Yeah.
We'll put on like fireworks displays and loads of things, and it's really good. It's for all ages too. Like, it's not just the whole big getting canned. Well, it is, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, there's kids and all that go as well.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So when you and your dad started the podcast, was there sort of like a jump in terms of like, because obviously cameras are on, it's going out, did you have your dad on the radio at one stage?
Yeah, he's done a few shows with me.
Yeah.
It's so funny because, see, for years he was a wedding DJ.
Right, okay, yeah.
He claims he's retired, but he would surprise me every so often. Be like, I've committed to doing something. How do you work a laptop? And I'm like, it's not records anymore, mate.
Yeah.
But he was a wedding DJ, so it's so funny. Any shop I go into with him, go, is that him? Is that him? Mickey Wilson, you did my wedding.
Serious?
You did my wedding.
Must have done them all over the country.
I was like, I'm literally Harry Potter. Like, I'll always be your son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, there's Mickey and his son. But no, he's a great character. I love it because it's so weird because people people don't often work with their dads or do things like that with their dads. Yeah. But I see it as a real pleasure getting to do that kind of stuff with my dad. And like we're like two mates.
Yes.
But obviously he's my dad.
Yeah.
Like he can still be grim.
Yeah. and the podcast sort of has probably blended together, and like, you know, obviously there's a change in like just how you would normally casually speak to each other. But then like even I'm sure you hear stories that you've never heard your dad tell and stuff, and it's 100%. Nice, you know.
There's some mad things that he's done. He got a teacher arrested one year. But he did.
What did he do?
He chucked his mate off a ski lift one year. He put a chili up someone's
area. Yeah.
Just some, like, you're just listening to this going like, how
did he get a teacher arrested?
Okay, so they went skiing one year in America.
Yeah.
And an altercation happened on the slopes with one fella who I'll not name.
Right, okay.
But okay, his name was Malachi, but I'll not give out
right, okay.
But the way the Americans were talking, they were like, Malachi, we're looking for Malachi.
Yeah.
So the altercation happened on the slopes. That was grand. They all went back to the chalet, and the police were doing the rounds of the chalet to try and find this man who had an altercation. So there was another teacher passed out, sleeping on the sofa. You got to remember, this is a school trip, by the way. You wouldn't get away with this stuff.
Yes.
So he's passed out on the sofa, oblivious, didn't even know what happened that day. And the door goes, knock, knock, knock. My dad answers the door, and it's two police officers, American, quite burly police officers, and they say, "We're looking for a Malachi."
Yeah, I'll bleep that. Yeah,
bleep that.
Yeah.
Double bleep. No way. To answer your earlier question, yes, I've had problems when mics are live.
There you go. You're in trouble. Yeah.
We're looking for a Malachi. We're looking for a Malachi. And my dad goes, "That's him there sleeping." And
what is your dad at this stage?
What age is he?
Yeah, like school.
Oh, like 40-year-old man.
Oh, right. Okay.
This was like literally 20 years ago.
Right. Okay.
So they lifted this guy, oblivious, sleeping, and he was like, "What's going on here? What the? What's going on?" So they lifted him, stuck him in a police car, and drove him back to the station. He was in jail overnight.
Seriously, brilliant. Like,
Malachi got away with it. So
where is he now? That's podcast.
He's on the run. You go to that slope, and there's like wanted pictures everywhere.
Jewel heists and stuff. He's moved up the ladder.
And like, do you guys have guests and stuff on that podcast?
Yeah, we'd reach out to what we're trying to do with it as well. But we said we'd have some like people on. I know, like Northern Irish comedians and different people, and you're welcome to come on yourself. Actually, that would be good.
I was just thinking, like, if you ever come back on, bring your dad, bring Mickey. And
you just need him. You don't even need me. I was surprised you didn't ask him. But we'd love to have you on. Actually, that'd be really good.
Yeah.
But do you know what? We found that the everyday people, like the taxi drivers, the barbers,
stories. Yeah.
See that these are people that are talking to you when they're cutting your hair or they're driving you into town, and they have the best stories.
Yeah.
And they're all like we're from West Belfast. They're from different parts of Northern Ireland, but they're just everyday working class people. And see, when you get those stories from those people who are just, I have a mantra in life, and it's people like themselves.
Yeah, relatability.
So that's just, and I use that on the radio every single day. No one's gonna want the head walking about with a Rolex on and driving a thing and all, being like, "Look at me, I'm brilliant." Yeah, not saying I could afford either of those things.
But you want someone that like,
you want someone.
I could pass him in the street, no bother.
The heating in my house is just packed in there. To pay for childcare, it's an absolute nightmare. I'm skin. You know what I mean? Like,
stuff like that.
People like themselves,
of course. But here, all the best to you, because it's doing well. In terms of like,
just check my Rolex.
So what you're driving outside? Do
you want to get the Range Rover and shot?
All three of them you brought with you. He's like, stop. But in terms of this, so you're freelancing in the radio.
Freelancing at the minute, in waiting of a permanent position. But you know what? Good things come to those who wait.
Absolutely.
I'm really happy with what I'm doing at the minute. I've lots on music wise. Do a bit of production stuff as well with music and all that. DJing, singing, radio here and there. So I've a lot going on, but I do want to go back into full-time radio at some point. Absolutely. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Like a proper love.
Do you do DJing at weddings and stuff? Or have you done in the past?
No, I do. Yeah. I do, but I wouldn't do them every weekend.
Yes, of course.
Couldn't do them every weekend. You'd be burnt out.
Have you ever had a mare at that? Something's gone wrong, or like...
Not necessarily a mare.
Yeah,
I like to give people what they want. Like if a bride or groom comes up to me, it's your day.
100%.
What you want, yes, no problem. That's okay. Yeah.
Actually, I have the set list here, and we're just going to stick on what I've got, if that's okay.
Do you know what I hate? See when steaming people come up to you, like you're playing Maniac 2000, and a woman or man comes up to you, usually a woman, I'm just going to be honest, let's call a spade. She's
bro sound effect.
Out of her tree, and she comes up to you and goes, in the middle of Maniac, here, will you stick on no matter what, by Boyzone, this floor will go mad. And I'm like, no, it won't.
Yeah, you're like, do you want to actually do the request all night?
He's swinging from a light.
Yeah.
It won't.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you're the worst DJ in the world. I hate you.
Would you get abuse and stuff?
Yeah. 100%. And then, like, I remember playing a tune, and then another drunk woman, came up and was like, you're crap. And I was like, I'm playing Shakin' Stevens. It's a Christmas party. What do you expect?
What do you want me to do? Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So you get the odd thing, but I just sort of smile and nod and be like, yeah. But in my head, I'm really going, you can.
And then, what would be your dream gig then? If you could, if you could just choose. Oh, what's happened there? Don't worry, the
my massive ego falling.
The watch collection's just falling off the chair.
If the Range Rover door closing.
If you had a dream gig somewhere, what would it be?
If I had a dream gig,
radio-wise, I'd say, yeah.
Do you know what? I always used to say Radio 1. I'd love to get to Radio 1. I'm too old for Radio 1 now.
Yeah, fair.
Like, I love some of the presenters that are on it. They're brilliant and all. And Greg James, one of my favourite presenters, he does Radio 1 Breakfast. But could I tell you a song that plays in Radio 1?
Yeah.
Maybe the odd one, not all of them. Like they played something 𝘿𝙀𝙀𝐾𝐋𝐒 the other day, and I was like, "Shit, is this where the world's going?" That's mad. But dream gig, I don't know. I always thought like I would love to do national radio, and do you know what? I love Northern Ireland. I love the humour we have here, and I love the people here, and I love connecting with that humour. I think it's very niche. I don't know if I went and done national radio, it would be that as good as what it is here.
Yeah, I got you.
Not saying I'm brilliant and all, like, you know what I mean? But it wouldn't have the same locality, and it wouldn't 100%. Have the same effect. So I love doing
Adrian
shows.
Dunbar wouldn't fly necessarily.
Exactly. You know what I mean? This is it. And like wee things that I would say that are localized, and you would only get that here. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't fly on a big national station. Yeah,
and like in terms of the shows you do now, you know, when it's actually on air, it looks seamless. But like, how much creative freedom do you have in terms of prepping your own shows? Like, for example, I saw you posted a clip yesterday. You were singing some sort of chicken KFC song.
Was a chicken was given a high-vis jacket.
Yeah.
And the chicken's called Billie Jean. So I thought, I'm going to do Michael Jackson's Billie Jean in dedication to this chicken. Your head just goes mad. Like, you just come up with this madness in your head. These concoctions come out. So I started just going, she was more like a poultry queen. Just like, so I just started singing. This listener's on the phone going like, you're nuts.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's brilliant.
And then in terms of like phone calls, are they a minute behind or something, or are they how much of that?
It's weird because BBC, everything's live, so it's you can get a phone call through and it's live.
Yeah, and
you have to try and get the best out of that caller. Yeah. I love the challenge of it.
Yes,
but the good thing about like sort of commercial, most stuff like phone calls and interviews are pre-recorded. Mm-hmm. So if I'm talking to Brenda, say from Newton Abbey for 3 minutes, but Brenda gives me 30 seconds of gold. Yeah, I can go, sorry, Brenda, you're getting chopped. We'll take Brenda's 30 seconds of gold and we'll play that out. Yeah. Because I was always sort of trained and told that if you can say something, say it in that amount of time rather than that amount of time.
And if you're, so like, let's say you're doing a show on BBC now, how many people are actually working on that?
There's a team. Yeah. Like there's a production team, there's a runner, there's all these different things.
Like
and I so wasn't used to that from a commercial background because I was coming in, I was like, wow, what?
It's like if you're on the air, there's so many people, certain people doing things behind the scenes.
Yeah, there's like a corridor outside with like this big production suite and people are talking in your ear and it's
class.
It's class, it's brilliant. But I also like that I'm sort of on both ends of that.
Yes.
Where, I can go into downtown and I can do my own thing and I can just get the best out of callers and just have a crack.
There's maybe no Billie Jean chicken chanting on BBC and I.
Absolutely there would be. I would just sort of these things happen in the moment, and that's why live radio to me is the best thing ever. Yeah. Because the best things happen just on the moment, spur of the moment. Yeah. You know what I mean? 100%. You could plan everything and plan all these things, and 90% of the time I would plan a show and I'm going to do this, going to do this, going to do this, and wouldn't do a thing.
Yeah, and it just goes out the window.
It's just arms and legs, things happen, and you're just like, right, okay, we're doing this then.
What can we do? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
one thing I wanted to do before we end the podcast is we're bringing a segment back, and folks may remember it from the lockdown days. That's how far.
Wow.
Maybe about like 2019, maybe.
Yeah.
No. You've been going away. You're well established.
So yeah, 2019 started, and the viewing figures have only gone down. What can I say? But
they're only going to get worse for me.
Not to say that's a joke. But yeah. So, but 2020, I think we introduced this, and
I could just say it's not a copyrighted thing. Like we
no. Any other podcast in the world could do this. But you've heard.
Just write this down.
Yeah. It saved me and my dad start doing this. I'm gonna be raging. But we've all heard of tier lists.
Right.
Yeah. So we've got the A tier, which is or S tier. Sorry.
S tier, God tier.
S tier or God tier.
God tier, yeah.
Which is like best of the best, unbelievable. B, C.
Yeah.
And then is there a D or straight?
Sometimes we go to D, but we just go straight to the shower.
Yeah.
You're not going to make me do this for radio stations, are you?
No.
Okay.
I did cross my mind. I was like, he's actually putting himself out of jobs.
It's like, whoa, okay.
Clients at weddings. No, I'm joking. But the and then with the shadow realm, which is the very bottom, like wouldn't touch it with 10 football.
Okay.
So we've just finished the Christmas season. Okay. If you're going quality street celebrations or heroes, what one are you going for? Because I'll be honest, I don't know the contents that are in all of them. Do I also need to look them up?
Oh, I do. as you can probably tell. I love celebrations.
Celebrations. To be fair, I'm putting the phone back down because I know the content.
Celebrations to me are like, because dairy milk's an everyday chocolate.
It is.
You know what I mean? It's like it's not a treat.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're getting a bite-sized Malteser, you know what I mean? Like
we'll start off with that Malteser bite-sized celebration.
Are you going God tier?
I'm going God tier.
Right. Okay. I'm going Are we putting the tins in tiers?
We're putting
the
individual sweets.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Galaxy God tier.
Galaxy God tier.
I'm gonna throw it up there.
Okay.
Yeah. I know Galaxy technically is an everyday bar chocolate as well, but it's a different. It's a BT9 chocolate
something
bar.
about that bite-sized celebration.
Yes.
You're like,
exactly.
Come on.
So it's up there.
It's God tier. Malteser, is it also?
It's God tier. It's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my wife hates me because I would literally ransack the tin and leave her with the bounties.
Now, are you a guy that
Shadow realm?
Here,
bounty?
We'll put these out.
Drowning it?
Yeah.
Right,
we'll put this out there now. No mucking.
Attach it to a spaceship and send it away.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Why did they get rid of the Galaxy Truffle?
See, I don't know what this is.
And they've got bounty in there. Like,
let me look up the Galaxy Truffle because there's Galaxy Caramel. Yeah,
it was. See if there's a tier above God tier. Galaxy Truffle was there, like
Supernova tier.
She couldn't even get that as a chocolate bar.
Oh, this thing.
It was exclusive to celebrations, and it was
this wee bad boy.
That wee dirty.
I don't remember.
I'd love one of them. I actually emailed Mars. This wasn't even for radio. This
Did you email Mars?
Purely for me.
What's happening with the Truffle?
I was like, lads, Truffle, what are you doing? They were like, we've had quite a response to the Truffle scenario, and I was like, yeah. So what are we doing? Like, are we resolving this? Like, are we ever going to say it again?
Yeah.
Oh, never say never, but people love their topics, and I was like, who's eating a topic? Who is?
What even is it?
Who walks in and buys a topic?
Are topics? Do they have fruit in them?
No, they're nuts.
Nuts.
It's just like a
pair of Snickers.
Yeah. It's like
Shadow Realm.
It's a slum Snickers.
Snickers though, I'm going high up. Like, I
like
don't know if I'm going God.
Do you know I didn't have a Snickers until like a year and a half ago? I just never had one. I just went,
really?
I just don't like nuts. And then all of a sudden I went, who am I kidding?
Snickers are good. Like, I wouldn't God tier them myself.
I wouldn't. What A tier? Go A tier, which is
slightly
just
below.
one below.
But you gotta be kind of Mars as well. If you
Snickers,
because they sort of go.
They blend. Snickers is just a Mars with nuts in it.
It's like Noel and Liam Gallagher.
Yeah,
you like one of them slightly better, but
the other one's not bad.
Yeah, you can't be bad to the other brother. Like, but stick them both in there.
Yeah. Here, speaking of which, do you think there's a possibility? I mean, in terms of like, I noticed through working at Q, sometimes the concert tickets aren't always the greatest. It's like, hey, you're getting concert tickets.
Are you going to ask me for Oasis tickets?
No. But I do think, can you take the boys up? We'll bring the pillows. But do you think like, is there a possibility that a set of Oasis tickets get put in your desk and you're like, you're giving these away on the radio, by the way? Like, what?
Have you?
Yeah, you have already.
Yeah.
Oasis ones?
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
They've gone, like.
We've missed it.
They've gone. They're away.
Mad.
But it's so funny because I don't actually like Oasis.
Yeah.
I find them massively overrated.
3 songs and I'd be like, yeah.
I like, you always get a person at a house party. Chose person there is a different word. At a house party with a guitar playing Wonderwall.
Yeah.
It's always the first song I'll play as a tune.
Yeah.
The Sid Man.
Here's Wonderwall. Yeah.
Right.
But you've given those away. Mad.
They're gone.
People pay top dollar. Like,
I know.
people pay top. Did you see there was something about like? I was listening to the podcast last night. They're talking about it. Like, so if you booked a hotel in Manchester for like the dates of the concert,
I don't even want to know.
people. So like, let's say you just booked it as a holiday before the tickets went on sale. Then you get an email being like, "Oh, there's been an issue with your booking. Like, you no longer have that room. You can have it again, but we've tripled the price because the
It's
wages are playing."
£9,000.
Yeah, so like people just lose out on their holidays because hotels have just went. We want that extra
I
money.
don't agree with that. I think that's mad.
That's
Like,
a lawsuit waiting to happen.
it was the
there.
same with Taylor Swift in Dublin and all.
Oh,
Like, people had things booked,
Yeah.
and then they cancelled them, and then it was like, "Oh, here you want to see Taylor? £9,000."
Yeah, £9,000. Mortgage
You're
your
not
house.
getting breakfast.
Yeah. Sell a house. But
Mate, I was in London the day Taylor Swift was there, like playing. Didn't know she was there, and it was just like, do you know when you're in the subway,
Yeah.
and you slowly pull up, and you go, "What are all these?" And you go, "Oh no!" And you start to see the Taylor Swift shirts appear,
You're like,
and it's just they all just onto the thing. Anyway,
um,
no, it's Taylor Swift. Sorry,
No.
Fun
Taylor
fact:
Swift.
Taylor Swift used to be an Irish dancer,
really?
and I played for Taylor Swift.
Seriously?
No, that didn't happen. Absolutely
Okay,
joking.
well, that's you never come
I
back
just
on.
wanted to get into the
You've
headlines.
crossed me there. You've crossed me there. You'll be added to the list, and that's that. But
Or dad does sell you a phone, but
for a second I was like, what? No way. But listen, we'll start a campaign. We'll get Truffles back.
do it
Only
If-
for
if-
us.
if
Just
the
send us a
Dolecast-
small box. What did it even taste like? Like how different was it from a plain?
Can you say
Galaxy?
on Queen's Radio?
I think you'll be okay. Yeah.
If had a taste, listeners, you'll get it.
Yeah.
It's just
It's just melts in your mouth.
oh,
Yeah. Let's campaign.
it's
Here.
such a.
If we collectively write we CC each other into an email and go,
I'm up
listen,
for it.
the boys have been chatting on a very famous podcast. That
Right, the
may have heard of it, you know.
We're looking for a nice moist
with
truffle.
branded pillows and stuff. We want to get the truffles back. What can we do about this? And they just respond with, hey, the people love a topic.
That's a horrendous
and the
word, isn't
topic
it,
is
actually?
truffles. What is?
Moist.
Moist. Oh, yeah. A good moist truffle. But here, let's bring it back. I'm trying to think. So, Bounty, we've already established
Bounty's
Bounty's
drowned. Nah,
done.
get
Shadow
out.
Realm.
Milky Way.
Milky Way.
it's like a solid.
I'd eat
A
it, but
or
like,
C?
yeah, you know
B
what?
listed.
I'd go.
B or C listed.
I'd go C because I'm just going. I'll never turn one down. Here, do you know what would actually put in the C, but because it's not quite Shadow Realm, Twix. Something about
But
the
see,
biscuit and the.
Twix to me isn't a chocolate bar; it's a biscuit.
It's a bit. There's too much biscuit for it to.
It's
know,
a thing for a
yeah.
cup of tea.
You wouldn't
know
call
what
a
I mean?
digestive a chocolate bar. That's all I'm saying. Or a chocolate.
Sorry,
That's
this
it.
is just fat talk here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I had the other day? Digestive biscuits, but it's like chocolate in the middle, 2 outside biscuits on the top. Do you know, like a sandwich?
Did you make this? Or
No,
is
these are branded.
what are these called?
Look, it's like digestive sandwiches.
gonna run to the shop
Man,
after?
I looked them up. Man, I got the.
Why have
there's-
I not heard of these?
I went down to what do you call it? Carol's or something. It's do you know,
The Irish shop.
Aye, it's down there.
They have them.
There's one down beside the Course Corner Hotel, and that's not.
Go in, buy yourself a leprechaun fridge magnet. No.
I have to bleep that out because that's relatively close to where I live. So
Chocolate creams. Is that what
let's
they're
see.
called?
Let's see.
Hold on.
Imagine
These bad boys.
those bad boys.
Cream by name and nature. Hey, oh my!
Moist.
look at those.
So digestive chocolate in the middle, and then
Oh,
the
there's a
outs-
vanilla one as
Oh,
well.
aye, there's different flavors. Man.
Come on here.
I just thought this should be put in the ether because not enough people know about this.
Absolutely. You should be a brand ambassador for
McVitie's.
McVitie's.
Meanwhile,
Who makes Galaxy?
Is it not just Galaxy? Huh? I'll look it up.
Do
you
the
Google
boys phone
Right
and
now.
say, listen, what are we
Is
doing
it the
with
Mars
Galaxy
Corporation? Because they're the
truffles?
people I emailed.
The Mars Corporation. You know
Mars
what?
Corporation. I think
That's
they might
Mars,
make
yeah.
that.
Here,
Yeah.
if you can get a phone number for me,
It's sad that I actually know that. Like,
we'll phone
how
the
Alan
lads and say,
Partridge is
listen,
that, like?
we're doing a tier list here.
Are you ringing them?
We might do here. You know, if we can get the number, if we can get a contact number.
Absolutely.
Let's get the boys on and be like,
that
here,
on.
what's the crack? What else have we missed in the... So Twix, what are you going for?
Twix, I am dumping it.
Dumping it.
I'm dumping it.
Shadow? Or one
No,
above?
because it's all right.
Yeah,
It's acceptable.
you
Like,
need
I'll
it.
have it. I'll not turn it down from a doorstep, but
I do have.
I'd eat it. But
I have a number here.
Pass it over.
ring them. Yes.
Yes, get the boys over.
This is brilliant. This is proper. What are you going to say?
I actually don't know. Probably should.
I have a
It's
man
about
here
the-
that's
it's
fairly
about-
upset.
With a group of
Make
lads
sure that's
here.
ringing.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, it's calling. We'll see what happens. Just say something like, with a group of lads here wondering about Galaxy truffles, and when they come
Maybe
back.
give it back. I'm not sure if it's the right.
Say you invited somebody over, you handed them a box of celebrations, and they're bitterly disappointed that
There's a guy's in my house now, and he's demanding Galaxy truffles.
he spoke to Brian Adams.
Brian Adams hates him. I don't know what he's gonna do. He's kicking baguettes and stuff. But are you a man that once you've unwrapped a celebration, have you a tendency to put the wrapping back in the tub? Like, listen, I'm guilty of this. I'm so guilty of this.
I can't do it.
But instead of leaving the wrapping on the sofa, I'll just go back
I can't do it. No, I have to set it on the table beside me and then put them in the bin. Because I would be raging if I seen a Malteser wrapper and thought it was a Malteser, lifted it and it was gone. I'd be absolutely... I'd
done that.
the bucket.
I didn't know it was an extra Malteser. No, it's not, Daniel. You've put the wrapping back in.
And then there's the old Peter Kay thing, was so true as well. You open a tin and it's like a sewing kit and you're like, paracetamols and everything.
It's the family's first aid kit.
Raging.
Where are we at with the...
I think you can only email them.
Do you know what that is? That's cowardly. Cause
that is, they know.
Do you know what's happened? They have received such...
I am looking, by the way.
That's okay. They've received so many calls about this that they've gone, we have to take this number off the website.
Probably me.
Yeah. It's Declan guy. Oh.
This might be the same phone number that we tried before.
Here. Just give it a try, and if we can get it, we can get it.
I think it's
No, not ringing.
No.
Here, do you know what it is? If the ferret, the ferret.
Cards.
Oh. No.
Heard something?
Yeah, it was us making noises. Listen, the ferret, what we'll do is, after the pod, we'll email them, and then next week's episode, we'll come back with a follow-up of, and we've just got a big box of Galaxy truffles. I mean, I say that like they're making them in production, but they're just not putting them on store shelves. It's sort of thing they'll be like, oh, we don't make these anymore.
Here's one for you, right?
Yeah.
Because you said roses, you said celebrations, you said...
Quality Street?
Yeah, well, we didn't say Quality Street.
Okay. Yeah.
Or we've been in Quality Street.
I do not mess with Quality Street whatsoever.
You don't like them?
No. Is that they're very chewy and they're very...
there's toffee pennies, there's everything in there. There's like dentist strips in there, like in...
Yes, of course.
You know what I mean?
If I'm picking any, I'm picking a celebration. What, Heroes? I would go Heroes after Celebrations.
Yes, I go Celebrations, Heroes, Roses,
Quality Street. Best Heroes?
Cream egg. I like the cream eggs up there.
Worst Heroes, the eclair.
Yeah,
it's too different from the
it's
rest of the box.
Like it is, isn't it?
We've cracked it. We have cracked it.
It really is.
Unbelievable.
It does not belong there.
I take it you're emailing right now.
I'm looking just in case if there's any Galaxy phone numbers, but it would just be under the same thing, wouldn't it?
Hello, is that Galaxy?
Hello, is this
Galaxy Chocolate have a contact us on their Twitter?
Yeah. I mean, if it's a phone number.
Is it 0800
get diverted to Elon Musk, what do you say?
Thanks for calling Mars Wrigley.
Oh,
you can now resolve your query at your convenience on WhatsApp. If you are over the age of 16 and would like to continue this conversation on WhatsApp, please press 1 now.
Just wait.
Otherwise, remain on the line to speak with one of our ambassadors.
Yes!
Here we go.
We're changing history, lads. This is great.
Just so you know, all calls are recorded for quality and...
So you're telling us?
We know.
the information you give us to manage your inquiry. Thank you for calling Mars Consumer Care.
Are we asking about
We're
the
currently
truffles?
experiencing a
Where
higher
are
than
they?
usual
Where can we
call
find them?
volume and
High
apologize.
call. Every podcast in Northern Ireland.
When they answer, I'll do it.
Alternative.
You just keep talking.
Do you know what's happened? Do you know what's happened?
Experiencing high volume, I'm sure.
Everybody's going
I
with the
must say,
truffles.
did I hang up from them earlier? Make sure.
You're like, lads, don't worry, I've tried this number today already. Do you know what it is? There's probably a dusty rotary phone somewhere in their office because no one's obviously called about Galaxy truffles in years, and they've gone, what the heck, we've got one, and then they pick it up, and it's the Dolecast boys asking about the Galaxy truffles.
Less than 5 minute wait time.
They definitely think I've died. It's ringing. They're about good.
Hi, thank you for calling Mars Consumer Care. This is Shireen. How can I help you today?
Hello. We're just wondering, I'm here with a group of lads, and we're wondering about the Galaxy truffle that used to be in the celebrations.
Mm-hmm.
And just wondering, is there a way, what's happening with those? What's the crack with them? Are they ever going to come back into circulation, do you think, or are they done?
I'll be more than happy to check if we have an update on that. And thank you for choosing our product, by the way.
No worries, thank you.
May I have your name so I can properly... You're welcome. May I have your name so I can properly address you?
It's Declan Wilson.
Can you spell out your first name?
Yeah.
Probably have it on file.
𝐿𝙊𝙇𝙀𝐿𝐴𝑁. Declan Wilson.
Thank you so much.
probably called before actually.
Oh, I see. That's the Galaxy Truffle.
Yeah, Galaxy Truffle. Yeah.
Is it a possibility to replace it
Let
with
me just
Bounty?
go ahead and check whether we have an update
Just
in
one.
line with this.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Bounty is gonna remain, or is that something you're planning on getting rid of as well in the celebrations tub?
Alright. And the celebration stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, that's Declan Wilson.
Let me just go ahead and place the call on hold for like less than 2 minutes so I can properly check my research.
No worries.
Yeah,
Perfect.
okay,
Thanks very
so
much.
I can provide you the information.
Okay, no worries. Cheers.
You're welcome. Hold on.
I'll stay on the line here.
You can mute it.
I'm so sorry.
Cheers. That's somebody's job. Like,
I know.
it's fair play to him.
Someone's
Here, he's going to check.
say here. We're gonna find out. Could you
Imagine
imagine?
he came back and he was like, "Yeah, we'll
We've got a
start."
bunch of boxes here if you want them.
Don't be so ship them out to the Dolecast.
Yeah. Here, I smell a clip. I mean, I'll say that for free. I smell a clip. Oh, I thought he was back. He was like, here.
Whole music choice is terrible, by the way.
Six music.
This is the
Celebrations and
this
it's
is
like
the
a
most-
funeral.
It's the most invested I've been in the podcast in a while.
This is crazy.
We're changing history, lads.
This is crazy.
We're bringing it back.
But here, any plans in the future? I'll wait on celebrations. Get back.
Hopefully mauled in a box of truffles, mate.
Hopefully, I'll be like, here, mate, pop round with a full box here for you.
Oh, jeepers me. This is
I
class.
take it the camera's okay, yeah.
Oh, they were grand.
Yeah,
It's
just
never been better.
It wouldn't
here.
surprise me if you're locked in more to the truffles than the
No,
cameras.
we're all good. We're locked in.
I'm waiting on someone ringing you back one day and going, "Hello, Declan."
Hello,
You'd be
Declan.
like,
We've
"No."
got a full box.
What? Who's this?
It's just occurred to me that's my phone as well. So
Yeah,
it's
we've been
like-
on- we've
So
got-
my phone.
We've been on with them for 4 minutes.
my-
Mate, they're sitting in the Galaxy factory now, running about. There's paper flying everywhere. Going, we've got a call. I don't know what's going on.
It's another one about the truffles, lads.
The truffles. Sounds like the war that's happened.
This guy's been taken out back and shot
Yeah.
because everyone keeps asking about the truffle.
I like the idea that they've erased it from all files, and this guy's just keep putting stuff in. He's like,
I
no idea.
envisage what's going to happen here.
What do you think?
This guy's going to come back and do a Jerry Adams.
There was
I can
never-
neither
Truffles were
confirm or
never in the
deny will the
celebrations.
truffles be back in the celebrations box. Cheers, lads.
Say truffles. Yeah. Oh, that. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he's like, "There's never been truffles actually," and we're like, well,
Truffles
"There's three
never-
lads here." And
Truffles
Google,
never
rappers.
existed.
I have leftover rappers.
Google Images would disagree with you, mate. I also didn't catch his name at the start.
well, you're not.
So you know.
We're
Oh well.
not-
This could be a new feature. Start bringing back discontinued products.
Mr. Truffle here.
It happened with Vanilla Coke. I love that. And it came back. Oh,
I thought. Do you know what it sounds like? The In Remembrance bugle, which yeah. with-
how fitting for
suits, I was
celebrations.
gonna say
like.
suits for the missing truffle. But
Do you know, like in Superman's funeral, like they lay over that the American.
hello.
Hello, thank you so much for patiently waiting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was able to check my resources here, and sadly, the product you are currently looking is no longer available as of the moment. But nevertheless, we'll share your comment and feedback with our marketing team, who regularly review our a range of products.
Okay, so if you can just pass on to them that Declan Wilson's keen to make sure truffles get back in celebrations. We really thank you for your help today. That's really appreciated.
You're welcome, and I'm so sorry about this. And is there anything else that I can assist you aside from that?
No, just about how we're all kind of fed up with the bounty as well. So if at some stage, listen, another comment to pass on that the bounty needs to go. But apart from that, thanks so much for your help. Really appreciate it.
Go back to making the tins bigger too.
Yes,
Bigger
tins are getting small. You know, one day I'm gonna be opening
Shrinkflation,
a wee small. It's gonna be like a Tic Tac box one day. So if we could sort that as well, that'd be great. But thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for contacting Consumer Care.
Cheers. Thank you. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Size does matter, folks.
Oh, the hunt for the truffle. Hey, we're not giving up hope. We're gonna phone them every week until we get
2025's
Were
year of the
they
truffle.
having a laugh in the background there
I
themselves?
can't tell because
I'm convinced they're all sitting around his phone.
they're all going
like,
Declan Wilson's dying for
it's Declan again.
mate. Thank you so much for calling the podcast.
Oh, mate, not a
really,
bother. Great
really appreciate it. We'll have you on potentially your dad back on. That'd be unbelievable.
100%.
Tell us about all the teachers he's arrested. And folks, if you want to reach the show, you can at the Dolecast on Instagram, or if you want to reach Galaxy, we'll put the phone number in the description. Declan, thanks so much for coming on. All your socials and stuff will be in the description. Tickets for Dolecast Live are still available, very much so. So buy those for April time, very cheap, and hopefully a very good show.
There'll be a truffle for everyone in the
There'll
audience.
be a truffle for everyone in the audience. And if you come to that show and you go, what's this about? I'll go, you haven't listened to the episode, get out, no refund. So, guys, Declan, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, lads. Cheers, appreciate it.
And we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Dolecast, 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 Dolecast.